Greeter team, what's going on? Pastor Nate here, just with a short 5-minute or less video, basically just giving you guys some tips on how to be a successful greeter. And so we appreciate every single one of you. For some of you, a lot of you already do these things I'm about to mention. So just let this be a refresher course. But there are also a lot of you that you're new to the team. And so as you watch this, go ahead and take notes. And some of this you might do naturally already. But I just want to encourage us, man, as a greeter team, if we can practice these things, then I think that we're going to hit it out of the park. And so here we go. Tips for becoming a successful greeter. Tip number one is that show up early as greeters. And so I'm not going to tell you how early to show up. We just want you to show up early enough that you can be in your position 20 minutes before the experience starts. And so for some of you, that means getting here 45 minutes early, because you got to check in kids, or for some of us, that's saying getting here 30 minutes earlier. That way you can go to the dream team room, and you want to make sure to grab your lanyard as well too. That way people can identify you as a volunteer. But show up early enough that you're in position 20 minutes before time. That way you can pray together, you can huddle up with your team, and you can also ask your team captain where they would like you to be positioned at. Number two, initiate. Initiate. Don't just wait for people to come up to you, but I want to encourage you to go up to people. In fact, you don't even need to wait for people to get to you. I know one of the things that I do is that whenever I greet at the front doors, people are yards away from us, and I'm over there yelling, "Hey, good to see y'all here. Good to have you guys here." People love to be acknowledged, and so, I just wanted to say that as greeters, we are kind of like, the host. That this is our home, and it's our job as greeters to make people feel welcomed into our home, so much so that they feel like it is their home as well too. So you want to initiate and say hi and all that. Also, you don't need to. Not saying for you to not do this, but as greeters, I want to let you know that you don't always have to shake everybody's hand. You can, and that's great. You can give them hugs, just not too long and not too tight. Be careful. But as greeters, you don't have to shake everybody's hand. In fact, the one thing I want to make it mandatory for us to do is if anything, I want you just to do this. The door's locked, so dang it. Oh well. But as greeters, I want you just to open up the doors and just serve people as they come in, and just welcome them and say, we're so glad to have you here, and get the door for them. I think it says a lot about us whenever we go out of the way to serve other people, even with just a small gesture like that. Also, if somebody comes to you, because you probably be the first people that any first-time guest sees. So if somebody comes up to you and they have a question that you can't answer, go ahead and escort them to the info kiosk. Don't just point them to the info kiosk. Go ahead and escort them to the info kiosk, or to a pastor who could potentially help them out as well. And along with that also, never point. We don't want to say, "Oh, you need to get to the kids." All right, well, go down there and through the hallway and make a left, or hey, you want some coffee? The coffee shop is down there, down the hallway. And so you never want to point. If anything, we want to always escort the people where they need to go, just because our church is somewhat large and people get intimidated by this stuff. And so again, our job is that we are the hosts, and we want people to feel welcome. So escorting them to different places where they need to go to. Also, as a greeter, if somebody comes up with a disability, it's our expectation as a greeter that to help them with whatever they need. And so if that's helping them get out of the car, if that's holding the wheelchair for them, if that's getting the doors for them, if that's even wheeling them into the main auditorium, the expectation is that, we will go out of our way just to help meet the needs of people with different needs, with special needs. And so, as a reader, just keep that in mind. And lastly, and this is what I said before, is that our job as readers is that to make people feel welcome into our home. And so it might not work with every single person that walks through our doors, but the thing I want to get through our minds is that we may not make everyone feel welcome, but try your best to at least make one person feel welcome. Because to one person, it might make the difference for them of whether or not they surrender their lives to Jesus, or whether or not they choose to call this place home. And so we want this place to be warm and welcoming for everybody, no matter your background, no matter your preference, no matter your orientation. We want this to be a place where people can feel and experience the love of Christ. So anyway, just big hugs, big smiles, big handshakes, and serving them and initiating. Thanks so much, guys. Till next time.